We're back. It's Buford T Muddlebutt for news channel WORT. Apparently that there big city TV cameraman forgot to bring fresh batteries. But that's okay, because we're back. Anyway, yep, little slice of paradise just out there with that sun just glowing right through them trees. But anyway, back to the stuff here. You know, we got all kinds of neat things. Not much to look at now, but I assure you that one time this was quite a fancy little shack out here in the woods. Had 7 young'uns living right here. They had 2 stories. Not 2 stories. It was 1 story with like a loft, and then everybody slept in this one big room. And well, let's just say things got pretty interesting up there at night. Over here, we're gonna walk over and take a look at where that barn once was. There's all kinds of history up and through here. I'll tell you. Back then, this wasn't a forest like it is today. You see, they lived out in the open, and they would have had cows, moo cows and pigs and stuff just grazing all over, and crops planted. You can see these just little old trees. They ain't no big trees. This young, the young forest. Right there's a road that would have went right on down through there. That would have been the wagon trail. So over here, we're going to see where that barn was once built. It wasn't too far away. But before we get there, I do need to direct your attention to this here tree. Now that is weird stuff. That tree right there, now you don't see that just anywhere. Now I can't tell you for sure what happened, but there's a little story in my family that, well, one day my grandpa's sister, he was just doing something, and she got up early to go do chores, and she rolled out of bed. I mean, really, she rolled out of bed, must have hit her head pretty hard on that floor, but she got up, something wasn't quite right. She came out here, started milking the cows, and she must have looked a mighty bit horrible, because she walked past that tree, and the tree almost must have let out a scream or something. It's been that way ever since. Well, that's what they tell me anyway, but I don't know for sure. But anyway, we're going to go on over here now. Now, just like with the house, you can see we got stones here. There's 1 stone, and there's 2, 3 stones, and then there'd have been 1 right there, 2 and 3 over there, and there'd have been 3 stones by 3 stones, and those would have held up the house so it wouldn't have been right on the ground. There's all kinds of neat stuff here. This is pretty neat. That would have been the handle for the barn right here. You just see there's been the door handle. You just boom. That would have been how you opened up that door right there. A belt. There's a lot of like leather and metal and glass. That's mostly what they had. They didn't have none of them fancy plastics or nothing. Over here we got all kinds of stuff. You just have to pardon me for a second. I'm getting kind of parched. This sure is pretty hot out here. It's a family recipe right here. It goes back several generations of Muddlebutts. We used to make this, well, still do, make it ourselves. I'll just have a little bit of the... Woo! That's a little bit of what we call lightning in a bottle. That was... Woo! That'll make your beard stand up. But, so yeah, here we got some neat things. We got ourselves this here boot sole. You can see that's just a little teeny tiny one, about, well, much smaller than me. I could eat that boot up. That's about the size of one of my toes, really. Must have belonged to just a little one. We got all kinds of things. This weird, maybe for combing my beard or something. That would hurt mighty much, but all kinds of stuff here. Now that right there is the bed that my pappy was conceived on. Now, they tell me that was some night. There was a whole lot of that Muddlebutt moonshine going on, and things got a little wild, and well, one thing led to another, and off to bed they went, and next morning, well, that bed wasn't a bed no more. And, you know, 9 months later, out pops my pappy. So they tell me that that was the best. So that's a little bit of Muddlebutt family history right there. And you see, a few years ago, we had one of them there big city history hunter, digger guys come out here. What do they call them? They're the archaeologists. That's what they are, archaeologists. They came on out here and they set up shop, and they wanted to dig around for our family history. And so they stuck these little stakes in the ground and had these little squares in here, and they're digging. They're so funny. All them there college people, they're digging with these little tiny little shovels and writing stuff down in notebooks and digging up my kinfolk's trash. Well, I can imagine old great-grandpappy Muddlebutt just rolling in his grave thinking, well, I worked so hard to bury that trash, and here you are, you city folks, digging it on up. And oh, that's funny stuff, I'll tell you. But that's what makes the world go round. But anyway, there's all kinds of neat things that we have here, and a lot of broken glass. And well, to be honest, it's just not what it once was. Family lived here until about the 1930s when, well, the house fell down and the barn just, I guess, disappeared. I don't really know what happened, but they tell me that it was a good old barn. Then the family, they still own the land, but they built a new house, and now they're up a stretch here. But yeah, we're pretty out there. We're pretty out there in the country. We're just like way down yonder where nobody really goes, and so this stuff has just been untouched except for them city people coming through here, and now us. But I'll tell you, I was a little nervous about doing this. I didn't want maybe you TV people to see this and then come out here and want to like take pictures and start to, you know, ooh-wee, that Muddlebutt home is famous. I want to go take a vacation and look at the historical Muddlebutts. So I'm not telling you where we are. Just know that we're way down yonder. It ain't worth your time to come find us. But anyway, this is a piece of American history. You don't got much of this left nowadays, what with all them new buildings and computers and stuff. So anyway, this is where we live. Well, I didn't live here, but my family did, and I heard stories and seen sketches that my pappy drew. He said it used to look like this. But anyway, thank you for your time. I'm going to go just off into the sunset now and just enjoy my evening. I hope you can do the same. Take care of yourselves, and thanks for having me in your homes, America. Have a good night.